Welcome to Views from the Pews from the Church of the Presentation in Upper Saddle River, New Jersey, and I am parishioner Rich Lamb. Today, we are going to talk about views from the long distance pews. The pews, the parishioners, and other churchgoers our church has reached out to digitally. You'll remember at the beginning of the pandemic, there was a total shutdown, not only of business and commerce, but of any large gatherings, including houses of worship. Presentation Parish responded by upping its game. And Father JC, you're here to tell us a little bit about what did Presentation do? How did Presentation react when nobody could come to the church?
Well, that we got lucky, first of all, and we heard the call even before the pandemic to up it up with our media equipment. So
what did I do?
Don't worry.
There we are.
So up it up with our media equipment. That's fine. Take a seat. And so we did, and we didn't even know what we were going to do with the media. But Father Bob, you know, he listened to the call, and we made all the high-tech things, the cameras in the church and all those stuff. Like, long story short, we didn't know. We're like Noah, you know, building the ark for something that we don't really know what was going to happen. But then the pandemic hit, and as soon as the pandemic hit, the investment came possible because like we are ready. We're ready to stream the mass, and then we are ready to record anything that we want. We have the platform, we have all the tools. And we got lucky. We just heard the Spirit calling that say, you have to do this at this particular time. And we did. We responded to the call. So when pandemic hit, we were kind of not struggling, or we were, the Lord has given that readiness to us, and to reach out to our parishioners, our friends out there spiritually.
And you converted the choir loft, right?
Yeah, we converted the choir loft into the media booth, we call it. Presentation media.
Yeah, you know, some parishioners used to like to go up there during Mass, right? Because I don't know whether they liked the view or what it was.
Now if they go there, they have to work.
Well, and today we have the distinct pleasure of using technology to have a chat with parishioner Nancy Maguire. Nancy, welcome. It's great to see you here. Well, it's great to see you on the screen anyway.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, well, we're glad you're here. You know, I would just want to ask you a question. So I know this may sound like I'm taking you to confession. When's the last time you were here in church?
The last time I was there at church was right the day before it closed. I was at the Thursday morning women's faith sharing group. And then I think the night before I had been to the Roots gathering, getting ready for Becky Eldridge, doing her book.
And then that was it. Nobody could go into the church again, right? And you didn't feel comfortable, like, well, none of us did. We were prohibited, first of all, I think, by the state. And you know, I had COVID back in April of 2020. So you know, it was I was 16 days with fevers and all of the other symptoms. So it was you know, it was terrifying. I didn't know if I was going to make it, because I was in that age bracket where they were saying chances are slim. At that time, we didn't have vaccines. We didn't have any meds. Nobody knew what to do. So you came into church on that Thursday, and that was it. And then, then what did you do? What did you decide to do?
Well, just, you know, stayed home, like, you know, like everyone else. I couldn't come, but of course, I was very, very thankful for being able, all of the things that came about at church, all of the connections that I could have through Zoom, or, you know, like we continued our Thursday morning group, our gatherings on Zoom. And it was scary, but I felt that really the church was our lifeline. It was our connection. And there were just one thing after another, one gift after another from Presentation. It was just amazing. And I could never say thank you enough to the staff, all the creativity, all the efforts, all the hard work. And everything that I saw that was offered, I tried to take advantage of. I just felt like everything was a gift. And when I look back, I realize the things that I took part in led to so many other things and so many other gifts. It's really been amazing. The one thing that's something that I think about a lot is I really love Mr. Rogers. And Mr. Rogers has said that he believes that the space between the television screen, or for us, the computer screen, and the person listening is holy ground. He believes that the offerings that he made on his program, just like the offerings from presentation, come to us through holy ground from God. And I believe that he uses the offerings, all of the wonderful things that are offered, and he uses that to minister to us and to give us the gifts. So I'm very thankful.
So in the presentation neighborhood, then, if we can talk about it that way, presentation is so famous for its community. Did you feel a disconnect initially, at least, or did you ever feel disconnected, or did you feel disconnected briefly and then you saw other opportunities? How did it work in your situation?
I felt disconnected at first because it was scary that I couldn't see everybody, but even just every single thing that came to us, every time I saw someone, a familiar face, the music, all of the beautiful music offerings, I just felt such comfort, and our whole family did. And with the virtual liturgies, we sit down as a family. We still do. At the time that we used to always go to 6:30 Mass. So we still sit down Sunday night together and join together with the virtual Mass. So it was scary in the beginning, but just all of the things that transpired just brought such peace. And even like the rosary, I would listen to that every night, and that was helping a connection with Therese. And there were just so many things that really were helpful. And go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. Father Bob talks about the altar as the best table in town. He uses that expression, and it's a very good one. Did you feel any disconnection? I mean, what was the biggest challenge for you, in terms of going to Mass, and what did you miss most about being there in person, and how did the digital technology help make up for that, or did it?
I really feel when I am, there with the virtual Mass, I feel like I'm there. I mean, I'm praying, we're singing together in the room. I'm asking God to allow me to receive him in virtual communion. I really don't feel disconnected. Of course, I miss really being there and really receiving, the actual, communion, but I think the pandemic changed the way that I look at things. I see God as much bigger than my smaller view before. I just feel like there are so many different ways that he reaches us, and I just try to open myself to that. And I just feel like every single thing that we get is like a gift that needs to be unwrapped. So I try to always unwrap it, try to receive it, and just leave it in God's hands, however he's coming to me. So I really didn't feel anything.
When you unwrap it, are you surprised?
Yes. I'm always surprised, and I'm always surprised at the way that it changes and evolves, because I think about like Father JC's offering us the Chosen. And I did that virtually with my husband, and it just led to so much growth, so much change in the way that I perceive things. Then I went back to the Thursday morning group and offered it to them, and I had a Zoom, and we met an extra morning a week to watch an episode, and then we would talk together about what we were learning, what we were seeing, how God was speaking to us through that. And it's just like things lead to other things, like the Becky Eldridge being exposed to her, having her, you did virtually her meetings with us, and I went on and I've taken some other ones with her myself. And just this week, she had a virtual Lenten mission, and I did that. So I think everything is surprising, and it's surprising the way that it changes or more comes. So I love God's gifts. You never know. And they're always full for me to give to other people. And it seems like it overflows and then goes to other people. So I haven't felt disconnect. I felt, in fact, a lot of the Zoom programs that I was able to participate in really introduced me to new people that are in our parish that I didn't know before. So now I know them. Now I know their faces. When I come back, I'm going to feel much more connected to them. So in a lot of ways, it's really been very good. And I said the Thursday morning group has just expanded. We have the people from that are presentation people, but have moved all over the country. And now they're back with us. On Thursday mornings, we're together. I have my sister. I invited my sister from Indiana. She comes in every Thursday morning on the Zoom. And then during the week, we can talk about it. We can share our faith with each other. So that's been a blessing. And I've invited people like from my friends in Pennsylvania. They come to Mass once in a while. They say the rosary with Therese. I mean, it's just been such a gift, all of this, and really beyond anything I could ever imagine. So I'm very thankful, really.
Let me just turn for a second to Father JC. Father, how different did this make your job? How did you have to really accommodate yourself to these technologies, and was it hard because you didn't have a congregation in front of you? Tell us about that.
Yeah, two questions. So the congregation is another thing, and the other thing is that, did you think that I will be doing this, what I'm doing right now, when I was ordained? Basically, no. I'm a priest, and my imagination of a priest is to reach out to others physically and go to their houses, to be with them, to be part of the family. And this is a very surprising, as you said, this is a surprising gift and a way to connect in another way with technology. Like, it's quick, and for me, I felt fed as well and connected with the congregation, and in a much more quicker way and more effective. As I said, it's the way the people receive that, those being on screen, that is surprising to me. So saying it first at Mass, it was really awkward. And I was on the table upstairs in my room, and we couldn't even go to, because we didn't know if it's what was surface or whatever. So we couldn't go to the altar. So I asked Father Bob if I could celebrate Mass with you guys daily. And he said basically yes, of course. And so I did the daily Mass with the congregation. And again, that one of the few people who have done it was presentation, because we had a facility. And then in terms of like the media, being a media priest, I never dreamt about it, but thank God, I guess there were some infused knowledge that came with it, and the help of the staff as well. Their openness for change, and their openness also for new things helped a lot, and encouraged me to do the stuff that I do, to be able to connect. There was a time that it was just us, Father Bob and me, who were connecting, and people were like so afraid, so they all went home and probably prayed a lot. But it was us who were working. And then when we came back about 3 months after the thing, and it was safe to come back, then the staff started learning, started pivoting, as Father Bob said, their job became all technology and all those stuff. And as we move forward again, it's different, but we are enriched by the whole experience of reaching out, of many ways that we could reach out to our friends, to our family.
So there's an old saying that that which doesn't kill you sometimes makes you stronger. Is that it? I keep hitting this button here. Sorry about that. I see. Yes, take it away from me. So there's an old saying that that which doesn't kill you sometimes makes you stronger. Do you think that somehow this experience, number one, has given us a new appreciation for being together, and number two, has also given us an appreciation for the ability to communicate by distance some valuable ideas, and even, as you say, Nancy, bringing other people into the fold, as it were. Tell us about that.
I think that basically, I just feel that there are so many good parts of this, so many gifts, so many just things that I really, that are just wonderful with it. So I see it as a positive thing. And I think for myself, just before COVID, being like kind of used to schedules and things that are predictable, I think that the blessing of COVID has been having to be more open to the Spirit and just listening to God and what he's, the way that he's directing you. Like Father JC was saying, being open to the Spirit, us not knowing what's coming, but following. And I think that it's basically all been good for me. I really don't have anything that I would complain about. I just feel like there's so many silver linings and so many good things that have come from this. And I feel for myself connected in a different way to church, but in a much better way. I feel like it's more, it's just wider and more, so much more enriching, more different things. I will be happy to get back. I don't mean that, but I just feel that this time has been just a time for a lot of spiritual renewal, a lot of different things coming to me that wouldn't really be coming before because I would be busy. I would have to go to the church. I would have to, try to juggle things and figure things out. Now it's like, if I see it, I try to do it. I just feel like it's been good. It's been really positive. The only thing I would say, it's hard to do the things that I had been doing before, like the play and worship, being with the young children. But there was the opening, my daughter did the summer story time. So that was a way that we felt like we were connecting, with the children. And that was a real blessing. I love doing that with her. We talked about it, worked together. It was time for us to share our faith before she shared it, and so that was a blessing. That was really, really good. So I just see so many positive things. But as I was saying, kind of for me, it was hard to find different ways because I'm kind of not going out that much with people to help other people or share. But that also opened up. And I've tried to, really listen more in prayer, and I think I've grown in praying for people. I have such a long prayer list. It's like amazing. All these different people, all the people in the Thursday group, they're friends. And just through this, I've learned that there's other ways to reach out, like in ways that I hadn't been thinking about before. Like when I take my walk, I go for a walk every day. When I'm walking, I always pray and I ask God if there's someone who needs a call. I try to give them a call. And, I've tried to do that. If anybody needs help with the technology, not that I'm that great, but I kind of walk them through how to get onto the Mass if they want to see it and they're not sure how to do it. There's just been and I've also learned with prayer, I've learned that I need to tell the people that I'm praying for them, because I feel like it makes them know that I'm thinking of them, and I know I'm thinking about what they're going through and trying to walk with them in that way. So a lot of things have been positive for me. A lot of being open to different ways, like Father JC said, things that we didn't really expect, things that we didn't think about. And I'm just very, very thankful for all of it, really. It's all been good for me.
You know, the colonnade of the Bernini arms in Rome reach out to the world sort of in a big hug, if you will. Do you feel like electronically that's what presentation has been doing here?
Yes, definitely. I definitely feel that. And I feel the love all the time coming through, and for everybody in my family, for my husband, my daughter. I mean, my daughter, Sunday, she's always thrilled. She reminds me all day. Tonight we're gonna be together and go to the mass, and she's looking at who's singing because she was in the contemporary choir. Hopefully she'll be back in it when we get back. And I'm an elector, so she, really loves that connection, and she just sits there the whole time. I know she feels like she's there too, just like we do. So I do feel like it's a hug. I feel like it all the time, and I don't feel like I've been away from anybody. I still feel really connected to all of them.
I just want, yeah, and you are. Yes, it's hard to top what you've just said. I do want to ask you one question though, which is, what would make you feel like you could come back? Have you figured out what the formula is? Is there a bar that you've set in terms of your own safety, your own mental acceptance of risk, I guess?
I think that I just keep kind of watching what's happening with COVID, and things still it's hard because things still seem iffy and not sure what's going on. So I'm just kind of being open to that and just seeing how we feel. And when we all feel like we're ready, we'll be coming back, because that's all I can say. I'm trying, I don't know what'll make me feel better. I just keep watching and listening, and just kind of seeing what they're talking about variants, or what's happening.
Well, while you're doing all of that thinking, we'll give you that presentation hug, right, Father? And
Here it is back.
thank you so much for coming on with us. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you. And,
Thank you.
Glad you could come on with us digitally. And so that's it for this Views from the Pews. Father JC, anything you want to add?
No, it's good.
All right.
Everything is good, and stay tuned, right?
Stay
Rich?
tuned. And, come back to church when you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be happy to, definitely.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.